Hello everyone, my name is Shaun and I'm a senior today. Well, I think two people have already introduced me as such. So, what I'm going to talk about today is one of many urban projects and development projects in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, or formerly known as Saigon, which most of us use, the name that most of us use anyway. And actually, I had the chance to give a talk about, or a presentation about Ho Chi Minh City itself about 2 years ago at the start of the program also. And by that time, I had a really vague idea how this big project fit into the big picture of the development of the city and of the nation, because I was far away and there was nothing written on it, and basically it was hard to kind of have a really comprehensive look at it. But I had a chance last summer to go back home, and I did more extensive research, some surveying, and some data collecting. So it's not comprehensive yet, I wouldn't say, but I definitely have a clear idea and more complete idea of how it fits, and how the residents feel about it, and how it reflects us as Saigonese. Anyway, so most of the contents of this presentation is going to be very speculative and very interpretive, because nothing is written on it, so most of them are not based on academic articles. So I think that's a good thing in a way too, that we can have a more liberal interpretation of ourselves just by looking at how it is right now. And because of that, I might race a little bit because there's a lot of things to cover. So if there's some pieces of the puzzle missing, please just stop me. Anyway, so just a little fact about the region itself for anyone who hasn't been to Vietnam or hasn't studied Vietnam that much. And also for all our participants this summer program, also to use this as just an introduction to the city and kind of an expectation what you're going to see and what you can pay attention to once you're there. Ho Chi Minh City is the largest city of Vietnam, located in the southern part of the country, with 8 million people, but 8 million people registered, because we're still using the same system of registration like that of China. So basically 8 million people officially, but about 2 to 3 million people that are migrants from other parts of the country, mostly the Mekong River Delta part. And I actually doubt that number is correct, because if I think about my group of friends, half of them are not from the city. So I would say that number might not, if my group of friends is a valid cross-section of the population of the city, I think that number might reach 4 million. So right now the city is home to about 11 million people, 11 to 12 million people, and with the density of about maximum about 45,000 per square kilometer, that translates into about 120,000 people per square miles. Manhattan is only about 70,000. So that's a lot of people. And we're projecting the population to be around 20 million in the whole metro area in 2020. So pretty ambitious, but really realistic projection actually. And this is just another, this is just can you guys see it clear? Should we turn on the mic a little bit? Right. Yeah. Is this better? Right, yeah. So this is a satellite image of the city, and you can definitely see how the city, how the urbanized area is distributed geographically. Basically, this one is the core center of the city right here, and the historical urbanizing trend of the city has been towards the north and west. And the connection to other parts of the country is towards northeast. That's how you get to, for example, the north of the nation. And well, the urbanizing trend didn't go south or east for obvious reasons, because these are wetlands. It's really hard to build on. It's unstable. They flood every year. But these are hard times, and people devise ways and technologies to improve, and that's why we've been witnessing a lot of movements down south. And one of the other projects that are really also famous in Ho Chi Minh City is the Saigon South project, which is a semi-gated community. I think more has been written on that than the new urban area that we're going to talk about. This is just a zoom in of the peninsula itself. You can see the stark contrast between the urbanized part, which is the core city center, and the other part of the river, of the side of the river, which is basically Thiem. It's pronounced like 2 TMs if you it makes it a bit easier. And what you see as the artery right there is just it's a newly constructed highway. Actually, it's not a highway, it's a boulevard, as they call it, that traverses the river through a tunnel. And it's really reminiscent of the tunnel we see in China also, in Shanghai. And well, the whole project has always been compared to Pudong in Shanghai. But the difference is very, very big, and we're going to talk about that too later on when we talk about the project itself. And this is how it's going to be if the world is perfect. But before actually going into it, I would like to just take a sentence out of one of very few academic articles written on this thing, establishing that the urbanizing trend of Ho Chi Minh City is to become a multi-center mega-urban city that will adapt the common trends of establishing systems from foreign sources and initiating a renaissance of traditional values. This is a really interesting point because it raises two questions. The first question is that what qualifies as traditional? What is traditional, and once we have established that, why is the traditional system not working in the first place? That necessitates an import of foreign system from foreign sources, and on top of that, the traditional values, according to this statement right here, is basically just ornaments for that system from foreign sources. So that's going to be the basis of my talk today. Well, just a little bit about the history of development of the city, so you have a better idea how it has come to this point today. The city is a bicentric city with Saigon on the other side, which is the main central business district nowadays, and the other side, about 11 kilometers away, about 5 miles away, is a city called Chalon, which is officially the Chinese community in Vietnam, the largest one in Vietnam, and I would say in Indochina as well. Actually, the city of Chalon was established even before the city of Saigon was formally established. So that's something really important to examine the demographics of the city and how the city's come to where it is today. And about the characteristic of a city nowadays, it's not divided into the bicentric or even monocentric model that we usually study when we're in the urban sociology class. When we have a central business district and we have concentric circles of suburbs. Ho Chi Minh City is, I think, the epitome of a city in more developing country, because if you look at the table up top, you can see that the formal and the informal household businesses account for about 50% of the economy of the city, and that's a lot of mom and pop stores, which is a great thing here. But that also means that people don't have to go to a certain employment center to work every day and going back. So there's no pattern of morning commuting and evening commuting. So the nature of the city is very dispersed, the employment is very dispersed and not in the center. Well, household businesses and mostly informal. And there's no predictable traffic pattern. And as any proud inhabitant of the city, I want to introduce to you all the identities that Saigon, I'm going to call it Saigon now, so just because it's short. embodies within its urban identity, because it has had the influence of the Chinese immigrants, which is this